hero or player out from the draft.
So Team Oxygen, right off the bat, Shane, they've got first ban. They're going to ban out Revenant and say, get him out of here. We don't want to deal with that early. Arctic Wolves has the next ban. Going to be interesting to see who they decide to ban out here. They are going to ban Rampage again, which leaves Grux open, which Grux and Sevarog, in my opinion, are the two strongest jungles right now. Team Oxygen picking up Bellica again. Arsenic. I mean, I say Arsenic, but it very well could be Ram Riddles on this hero, because we've seen Ram Riddles, our Team Reborn.net, run this hero in the offlane before. So Lieutenant Bellica is going to be picked up. And now Arctic Wolves has got two choices, Shane. Do we see a Survivor on Sparrow, Crazy Fool Decker pick, or do they pick up their offlaner with Moragesh? Or mid laner, I should say, Moragesh, with Talrino.
It's going to be that Moragesh, who could be run in the mid lane or in the off lane, not yet to be revealed. Shares similarities with Bellica. When you first pick Moragesh, he doesn't completely show all of your lanes from the get-go. So Team Oxygen really won't be able to specifically try to soft pick against the Moragesh, which you can't really do anyways. You just got to pick up some stasis gems. But the Moragesh pickup, you can't go wrong with it. Just an overall really strong hero.
Yep. And picking up Decker. I mean, that's not a surprising pick at this point. Decker is what we've said is the strongest support in the game. So Decker pickup, which opens up a lot of options here. Grux possibly, Twin Blast back on, or Imsco back on Twin Blast, and that's what we're going to see. Twin Blast picked up. Do we see another phase game, Shane? I mean, the synergy between Twin Blast and phase is amazing. Do you think Phasma will be on that hero again?
Wouldn't be surprised. This could be a support Bellica. I don't really think that's Team Oxygen's style. I think FaZe is suited more towards it. Empowering Imsco, that's what FaZe will do. Narbash is on the table as well. We've seen a massive rise of the prioritization of Narbash. It's between Narbash and FaZe. It really all comes down to how does Team Oxygen want to plan this out? Do they have a very specific strategy in mind? Or are they going to stick with what has got them here thus far? And that's just smart, calculated play. If that's the case, I think FaZe is much more well-suited for their draft.
Yep. Grux Meds is going to be back on Grux. No surprise there. I expect Fatal Barrage to pick up Sevarog. We're actually going to have Mr. Kwong is going to be picked up. So Mr. Guru will be offlane with Kwong, and Talrino will be mid lane with Moragesh. So that has Sevarog, and I mean, do we see Sevarog and Sparrow again? Do they go back with their comfort heroes, and we see that same pickup from Fatal Barrage and Survivor?
The Sparrow, I didn't think Sparrow was the right pick that game. I mean,
yeah, I'll agree.
It's. I mean, Murdoch will suffer the same problems as far as being easy to pick up with meds, just constantly latching on to the backliners. But I don't know. I think it's a wash between Sparrow and Murdoch. As much as I would love to see Grimmix, unfortunately, he's not really a hero in the game right now. Judging by how that game went, Survivor's play, nor did the Sparrow pick, I think, really cost them that game. It could be any other carry at this point. So with that being said, I'm pretty confident it's going to be a Sparrow pickup here, as it is just, you still have Decker Sparrow. It's still a combination that if you get a 2-3 man containment fence with Enter Fire in the later stages of the game, you can just mow down targets.
So Howitzer, FaZe picked up, excuse me, more FaZe there. And Howitzer, which means this is how do we see this lane? Do we see Team Reborn.net play Howitzer off lane? Bellica is going to be mid lane on Arsenic, or there's a lot of different ways they can play this out. So we get into the draft, it's going to be interesting to see how they the lane game sets up here, which means Arctic Wolves has their carry pick, Shane, and it is going to be Sparrow. They are going to pick up the Sparrow there, and like
they were
you said,
talking about that for a while. That took them a long time to pick up, so there definitely was a lot of internal dialogue as to which one they wanted to go with. But yeah, it's going to be that Sparrow again. And if I'm Arctic Wolves, I'm saying we got to make sure that Meds doesn't walk all over this game. Bellica versus Moragesh. So last game was a double caster game from Arctic Wolves with Howitzer and Moragesh. This time around, it's simply just the Moragesh. So Bellica's not going to get as much value on the field. So I think right away, I already like Arctic Wolves draft a little bit better this time around. But more importantly, I think they're going to have an easier time in the lanes.
Yeah, and again, I think it comes down to execution. Both solid drafts, again, coming out of both of these teams. The one thing that I love with competitive play, Shane, is we're getting to see a lot of these teams return, a lot of these players return, and you can really tell their play style depending on the hero they pick. Meds, very aggressive Grux. We saw that last game. We expect to see that this game. Shane, this is it for these teams. Whoever, if Oxygen wins this match, Arctic Wolves is out. They play for third place, and Oxygen heads to North Carolina and tries to get $2,500. Arctic Wolves has to win this match if they want a chance for North Carolina.
They're going to have to play much better than they did in game number one. Oxygen just seemed to have their number on them. Now, these two teams scrim each other quite a bit. Anytime you have two teams that are scrim partners, there's always this sort of internal metagame that can go on between a group of 10 players. I'm asking myself if that's what's happening right here, right now. Not necessarily, because the drafts are pretty straightforward, but this duo lane versus duo lane, that's what leads me to believe that these guys are trying to switch it up on each other, and they're both almost like trying to outdo each other or one-up each other at the same time. Nonetheless, as of right now, Survivor was hanging out in the mid lane, now transitioning over to the other side of the field. Mr. Guru is going to be in the off lane. And yeah, I think it's going to be Sparrow Decker in the mid. So dual lane versus dual lane. Once again, it's going to be Belica up against Talrino's Moragesh. Arsenic Howitzer versus Mr. Guru. These lanes already, I'm not sure if I like them for Arctic Wolves. Kwong can really do work against Howitzer if he's able. I'm sorry, Howitzer rather can do work up against Kwong around level 5 and especially around level 8.
Yeah, it's Fatal Barrage has got to be careful here. His camps are warded up. The reason for the duo mid lane, we talked about it last game, is that aggressive engage into the enemy jungle to try and steal that green buff, pick up an early kill on the jungler. Fatal Barrage has got a ward here. I don't think he sees this other ward that's sitting by the stairs. And I don't know if we're going to see that aggression. Here comes Phasma. Phasma's trying to get over there. Green buff's already been picked up, so his rotation's a little bit too slow for him to rotate in and then be able to pick up a kill or at least steal that green buff. But that's the reason for this duo lane, Shane. And I think Oxygen just does this better.
They were not the pioneers of it per se, but they definitely refined it.
Good aggression.
Phasma is going to get blown up. Imsco picks up a reprisal and now looking for a double over onto Survivor. That grenade is going to miss. Survivor's able to sidestep it. Imsco lining the trap, trying to get it. Got him with that last shot. Can he get away cleanly? He should be able to. Imsco picks up a double kill. Crazy. Almost land that stasis bomb right there. Unfortunately, not able to do so. And Imsco's able to do a little do-si-do around the high ground. Now he's returning aggression on a Crazy Fool. Someone put this man out. They can't do it. And now look at this. Imsco just farming minions out by the river buff. You know, standard play.
Enjoying his time in the forests of Agora. I like that just answer back. He's like, all right, Crazy Fool, you're going to continue to chase me. I'm not going to miss a shot. I'm going to hit you with a grenade. You need to be careful here. Meds going for this river buff. He is. Yeah,
you got the double smasher grab there. Fatal Barrage is going to be looted. Going to be rooted up right there. Is going to get away. Barely going to live. The bleed damage was almost there. Now it's Crazy Fool and Taurina. We're going to try to find a turnaround kill over on the Meds. I think the heals from Phasma should keep him alive. The mark through the wall was there, but just barely short of enough damage to get him. And again, Imsco the Punisher. This is why we call him there. They chased the kill over on the Meds. Imsco showed up, and he gets yet another kill. We're only 3 minutes in this game. Imsco right now, he's on par for a kill-a-minute match at 3 kills very, very early. Now Survivor, next target. They're getting aggressive on him as well. The root didn't land, though, so Survivor should be able to get away. Imsco's going to retreat. If that root landed, that could have been yet another kill.
That's who you want to feed early in the game is Imsco. Definitely let him get that card power early so he doesn't have to focus so much on last hitting. Really let him get aggressive right off the bat. Good game plan coming out of Arctic Wolves here for the first 4 minutes of this match.
Taurino suffering with the Ram Riddles Belica. It's a Ram Riddles Belica this time, not the Arsenic. Either way, it's still a very difficult matchup regardless of who is playing on that hero there. It's I hope Arctic Wolves does not neglect Taurino this match in this matchup as much as they did in the previous one. You cannot disrespect a well-farmed Belica, not only because of her ult, but more specifically because Void Bomb. A two-man seismic assault with a Void Bomb can chunk people down, especially with an over-farmed Belica. You're looking at you know, a quarter to a third of someone's HP from the Void Bomb just itself. Taurino now trying to return some aggression. Seismic Assault lands. Void Bomb's going to be there. That I thought Taurino was going to get that crazy full. Goes, don't worry, Taurino, I got you, brother. And he picks up the casual Stasis Bomb kill for himself. But that's what I was talking about. That matchup just is, it's so difficult to deal with. Taurino was trying to get something going there, but with the Seismic Assault landing, he got taken out. Now Arsenic trying to do the same to Kwong. Knocks him up, doing a lot of damage. I don't think there was kill potential there, but Howitzer can bully Kwong out of lane pretty consistently. Now Meds is rotating over to try to put the nail in the coffin. Actually misses the smasher grab uncharacteristically, but he still might not have enough damage. Arsenic does not have mana for an R2000, so Mr. Guru is barely going to be able to get away. And now mid lane as well. These guys just do not give up the aggression on both sides of the field. Fatal diving the tower, trying to get Phasma, but I don't know if it's necessarily worth it, as Imsco might pick up yet another kill. I believe the kill was to the tower, which means the support carry got the kill. Either way, Imsco continuing to just stand his ground, and just this mid lane not going the way of Articos. Taurino rotating, the Stasis Bomb to land. One more mark. Taurino's not level 5. They're diving the tower again. Survivor gets the kill with the Piercing Arrow. Finally, they take down Imsco, but man, did they have to put a lot into that.
Yeah, Imsco actually, because he landed a grenade before the tower did that last bit of damage on Fatal Barrage there, Shane, Imsco actually did get that fourth kill. Get the
credit for it. Okay.
Yeah, so he was 4-0-0 at that time. The rotation over Survivor does pick up the kill on him, gives him a nice little card power boost because he had a bounty on his head, but still, he's 2 card power behind at this point. Imsco has a maxed out Madstone Gem and a maxed out Sage's Ward. And with his ability to farm right now and the damage that's coming out, this mid lane has to be very careful. The Crazy Fool Survivor mid lane has to be very careful when fighting into Phasma and Imsco. We are starting to see a little bit better play out of the offlaners here. Yes, Mr. Guru or Taurino did fall to TeamReborn.net, but he's not just been shoved around this match as of yet. Yep. We're starting to see a little bit better rotation from the junglers and the support to help him in that lane. I don't know if Taurino has the mana to really do anything here, and Fatal Barrage recognizes that, so he is not going to push. Mid lane, of course, more aggression coming out of Phasma and Imsco. They want to get this tower down, open up this match, open up this map, and be able to rotate a little bit more freely.
It's just the phase Twin Blast is such a great laning combination early on that it really does. The Sparrow Decker just does not match up to it evenly at all. There's not much they can do, and really the story being told there is not only in game 1 did they lose that, but even here in game 2 they are playing better. Fatal has set up kills early on where he was not able to do so previously. With all that being said, the tier 1 tower is still under a lot of duress. Won't be surprised if that falls here within the next couple of minutes. And it was the moment where Oxygen picked up the tier 1 tower early on is when they really started to walk away with this. Mr. Guru on the other side of the field, again, being bullied out of lane. Arsenic's not getting the kills, but the next best thing after that is forcing someone to back in the lane. If you just look at the levels, Arsenic is almost halfway through level 6, while Mr. Guru isn't even level 6 himself. That's with triple healer tokens as well. So this is someone who essentially has a health pot up 100% of the time, and he's still getting bossed out of lane. These lanes, Oxygen, continue to show they really know what they're doing when it comes to this duo lane.
So with the two off lane and safe lanes being kind of bullied around here, especially Mr. Guru, Taurino not so much this match. What should Arctic Wolves do? What is their call? Do they prioritize more in dealing with these lanes, or do you want Fatal Barrage to continue trying to bully that mid lane?
I think Fatal Barrage should be focusing on the side lanes here and just tell Crazy Fool and Survivor, hey, just farm effectively. Containment fence onto Imsco as well as Phasma. This is looking good, but Imsco is trying to get a return kill. Their grenade is there, able to pick up Crazy Fool, rooted onto Survivor. Phasma gets torn apart by the damage, the Soul Siphon of Fatal Barrage. Meds just now rotating. Imsco still healthy as can be. That was a great containment fence. Somehow, that was a 2v3 engagement inside of a containment fence for Oxygen. They still were able to take that engagement. The moment Meds show up, it was all but over. And they take favorable over to Imsco. Now 5-1-1, 9 minutes into this game. He is really, really pulling ahead. 17-12, 5-point card lead for a Twin Blast without Raptors even being part of the equation.
The Raptors haven't even spawned yet, Shane. We're 9 minutes into the game, and he already has this lead. I was expecting him to be aggressive last game, and he's doing it this game.
I think Imsco... Nope, he's okay. Okay. He locked up there for quite a long time. Mr. Guru gets sniped down by Arsenic. He's been looking for that kill so many times. Survivor's here. Maybe try to get a return kill. I don't think he's going to be able to. The minions actually body blocked up Sparrow, and he's going to be able to get away. So after enough bullying, it's only a matter of time before he gets that knockout punch, and Arsenic finds that. Last game, it was Arsenic versus Taurino. The Arsenic was just winning that lane and opening up the map. This time, it's the same situation, except it's up against Mr. Guru's Kwong. And Kwong is very important in this game for setting up kills and starting up fights, especially around huge objectives like the Ore Prime and Raptors. If they can continue to make Mr. Guru not a presence on the map, then those really important mid-game objectives will almost by default go to Oxygen.
Yeah, and we've talked about this in the past, and we'll talk about it again. Minions are the MVP. You never want to fight into minions, and it did look like Arsenic was actually had the minion advantage in his favor, and that helped definitely secure that kill onto Mr. Guru. And we saw the body block from those minions to deny Survivor that kill on Mr. Guru. So make sure if you're playing in your games, you have the minion wave advantage when it comes to engagements or taking a fight here. TeamReborn.net is going to pick up the gold buff, which we haven't really talked about, Shane, much this event. I think gold buff is pretty standard. It's one of the reasons we see the 2v1 lane more so than this duo mid lane is because of the strength of that gold buff. But when you play this duo mid as well as you do being Oxygen, they don't need that gold buff. As you can see, Raptors are now spawned 11 minutes 25 seconds into the game. They're going to go over and pick these up. Imsco's sitting at 20 card power.
Imsco's such a powerhouse at this point. They're now going to go in. I don't think containment fences up as was used somewhat ago. And Fatal goes in. It just immediately gets picked up. Meds was at half HP before that fight even started. Yeah. Arctic Wolves were looking to have a good push, but man, Oxygen, they bounced back immediately from the Raptors. A little bit wounded, but not afraid to fight. And they go in with eyes wide open, pick up 2 kills again. Survivor gets taken out, and if they can continue to exploit this carry, this Sparrow of Survivor, whilst at the same time infusing Imsco with an absurd amount of card experience, this game is going to be, they're going to start running away with this game here. If Arctic Wolves doesn't start to find some stabilization within the next 5 or 10 minutes. Mid lane, the tier 1 tower already fell, and they're knocking on a tier 2 tower. This here is symbolic of how Oxygen feels right now, just sort of arbitrarily pushing down a mid tier 2 tower. That's a good sign for them.
How do you fight against a carry that's at 24 card power 12 minutes into the game? That is a lot of card power when you compare him to anybody else on the team. Fatal Barrage went into that engagement, took 2 grenades and a double tap, and was dead. Yeah. Because of that lead. He's got a 10 card power lead over the jungler. He doesn't have the health. He doesn't have the armor online. How do you answer this? How do you deal with Imsco, Shane?
I think it's okay, we no longer, they need to have both of their frontliners up, both Kwong and Severog. Going back to Mr. Guru and how he has been struggling in this lane for so very long, Oxygen are just once again, because of how well they laned this, are forcing Arctic Wolves into a catch-22. If Mr. Guru leaves his lane to go fight, then that means they can either set that wave, Arsenic can push down a tier 2 tower, open up the map more. That also means Mr. Guru then is not farming. Instead, he's not getting levels, which he has been starved of the entire time. Either way, it's Arctic Wolves are inherently at a disadvantage because of that. So if they want to get kills, if they want to try to defend an objective, I think they have to go all in on it. They can't continue to try to outlane and catch themselves up in lanes when from the get-go that was already a weakness. They need to find advantages elsewhere outside of just farming in their lanes. They have to be a little bit more aggressive and a little bit more objective based, I feel like. Ramidals gets knocked up, the subjugate to land should be a pretty straightforward kill. He uses the seismic assault as well as the mark. You can actually tell that he really was looking for a kill over to Taurino, but that's what I'm talking about. That's the sort of thing that Arctic Wolves needs to get themselves in this game. I would say be a little bit more pick-oriented than as opposed to just playing conservatively and playing the long economic game.
Right. And that's not a bad call. If they're able to land those picks in the offlane and deny farm to the rest of the map, definitely set themselves up for more favorable engagements here. We're seeing Meds just constantly in enemy territory, constantly in the enemy jungle, trying to deny farm to Fatal Barrage here. And he's done a good job so far. Fatal's only sitting at 17 card power. He's 3-4-1. He's been a little bit more in these fights than Meds has, but he's also died 4 times, while Meds is 1-0-2. So Do you think Fatal Barrage is besides bullying the off lanes more, should he be more aggressive, or does he be more conservative when it comes to just looking for that single pick, or does it, because he's focused a lot on the mid lane, I don't think it's paid off. Is this an Orb Prime? No, it's a River buff.
Yep, they're just waiting on the river buff, maybe trying to find a pickup there. Or Prime just very recently spawned at the 15-minute mark. As far as Fatal goes, he's definitely lacking on Sevarog goes. He's lacking on the stacks. Colossal Blow underneath the tier 2 tower. Stasis Bomb used as well. Can they get the kill? They do not. Meds is able to get away, and at the same time, Sparrow was taken out in the back line. Ramriddle secured the Seismic Assault, pulled out that pistol, and down goes the carry player. So again, the discrepancy between the two carry players on this side of the field continues to grow and grow and grow. Oxygen eyeing themselves a mid-tier 2 tower. Raptors are not up for them to do. And are they going to go for an Orb Prime? This would be quite a ballsy call here. I think right now they're just trying to gain control of the vision of the area, fall back, set waves, and maybe spend some points. Either way, Oxygen, again, are really just dominating here. There is no sign of weakness inside of their play.
Yeah, I just look at the map and we look at game one. We look at the aggressive play coming out of Meds last game. Now we look at the aggressive play coming out of IMSCO this game, and I'm trying to put myself in Article's shoes, trying to look at this flow.
Isolated, Colossal Blow, Stasis Bomb. They get another kill. So Articles they're starting to bounce back a little bit. Notch. They're starting to bounce back a little bit.
I was going to say, I like, you mentioned focusing on these outside lanes. They're starting to do that. They've picked up 2 kills pretty quickly here.
IMSCO just by himself. IMSCO's literally by himself. They should be able to get this kill. Maybe some overconfidence coming out there from Team Oxygen, especially considering Ramriddles was off the field. IMSCO is literally by himself in the opponent's jungle without any wards doing the green buff. I mean, IMSCO, he kind of does stuff like that. But this is what Arcticos need. This is the opportunity they needed, and they're capitalizing on that opportunity. The Raptors just spawned, and this is going to be a very needed boost of card experience. But Med goes in, he blinks in with the challenge of the Warlord. He's going to try to get the kill to make it rain. They're inside of it. Survivor's trying to get himself out of that ultimate, but he isn't able to. Up against the wall, up against the ropes, and he gets knocked out. The double smash and grab. Meds is just on fire here. They can't seem to stop the Grux player. They win it in an unfavorable situation and able to get the kill onto the carry player. Raptors were cleaned up. Raptors were taken. And is this a possible overextension? Sure, they were able to get the kill onto the Sparrow player, but if they get any more, this could be turned around. But Ramriddles, he comes back from the grave, and he gets the kills. Blinking forward, looking for the triple. Seismic Assault, Void Bomb. He has it queued up. He has it down. Oh, but Crazy Fool's going to use the Stasis Bomb. He's going to deny the triple kill, but still, what a play out of Ramriddles. He's not out of it yet. Look at Crazy Fool. He knows he's not out of the woods. Now he's backing up all the way to his inhibitor. Ramriddles just made a statement right there. Came in from the river and picked up 2 huge kills.
Shane, I just look at this gameplay. I'm sitting here. If I'm Survivor, I'm like, you know what? These Raptors are dealing damage. Oh, crap. That's a Grux out of nowhere that lands a 3-man smash and grab into a Warlord's challenge. They kill Survivor. Neds is like, yeah, I'm not done. Smash and grabs 2 more. Articles is like, we're going to get away. No. Team Reborn.net shows up, picks up a double kill, and now they're going for the Orb Prime.
They know Articles know. Survivor's leading the charge, but that is not the person you want in the front lines. Be patient. Wait for Fatal to show up. Kwong is not there. They go when the Orb Prime is down. Prime cards online. In goes Ramriddles, blinking forward, looking for Crazy Fool, but if they only pick up a support kill, I think for Articles that's okay, considering how desperate they were to try to contend over this Crazy Fool, try to get to the high ground. The root is there. The NG Lance, not enough. Decker can be elusive, as displayed by the current chase. Benny Hill chase going down here. Man, does Ramriddles want this kill. He wasn't able to get it. He wasn't able to get that triple before, jumping up forward, but Ramriddles has the blink charm. The teleblink continues to pursue. But all the meanwhile, on the other side of the field, in right lane, there is the tier 2 tower push coming down. Now, I would imagine Crazy Fool is going to conjoin with him team. Ramriddles is actually going to set mid and then probably show up to this wave as well. So a slow push, setting the waves. This is how you do it.
They've got the lane clear to deal with this. Which is what Arctic Wolf has right now. That is lane clear. That's the only thing that's really going to save them as of this point, is that lane clear. But IMSCO is caught. No, he's not caught out. I thought he was caught out here. He was looking for the rotation as they transitioned to the mid lane because of that lane setup. Team Reborn.net pushing this tier 2 tower down. This tier 2 tower is going to fall. I mean, are we going to see Stablink smash and grab again? Because
it's entirely possible.
Dear Lord, it's worked so good.
Look at the positioning of Fatal Barrage. He is so far back that Sevarog the tankiest person on the side of Arctic Wolves right now. I would actually say at this time, maybe Mr. Guru is the tankiest by how far behind. There's a containment fence, beautifully done. Crazy Fool is able to get out of there. Do they get the follow-up here? The Fury of the Heavens goes in, but it really only hits on Ramrails, and he immediately gets pulled out. Imsco, there's so many ultimates being put into him, but Phasma's doing his damnedest to keep him alive. Mr. Guru, a little bit more damage, but they can't get the kill onto the Twin Blast. And the turnaround. Once again, Ramrails gets the kill, goes forward, Seismic Soul. Void Bomb gets the double again. You can't stop him. Somebody stop him. I don't know who can. It doesn't seem to be Arctic Wolves right now, as the Bellica again makes the huge plays, gets the kills, and if they're able to reset here, they can go for a mid inhibitor, an early one at that. 20.5 minutes into this game.
I mean, I don't even know what to say at this point, Shane. I think we just stop commentating. We just let people watch. This is a show being put on by
R2000. Right, he gets him. The dream is over for Fatal. For the next 35 seconds in a row, this mid inhibitor is now surely going to fall. Survivor's by himself. Again, the Enduring Dreams. Arsenic gets that R2000 rocket, the root from the energy lance. And Team Oxygen, man, they can feel it in the air. They're already getting their itinerary to North Carolina. They can feel it. They're about to take off. They've already taken off. Are you kidding me? They're already in the air waiting to land right here. As long as they're able, if they are able to land safely, they should be able to get this game. They're in firm control of this. Arctic Wolves, they have to play immaculately, and at the same time, a path to victory is on the shoulders of Oxygen to make a mistake.
Yeah, Oxygen has to make a massive misplay here in order for Arctic Wolves to come back. Team Oxygen has been playing picture perfect, Shane. Bob Ross making happy little trees.
Oh,
I mean, like, this is insane what's happening right now. These guys are playing out of their mind. We talked about it yesterday. We talked about Reborn. We've talked about Oxygen. The way they play these games, the way they play as a team, not individually. They may have some of the best individual players. Meds is going to find out Taurino over here. Shane, he's going to use the Warlord Challenge. Smash and Grab is going to land. Meds is going to get rooted up and picked up and killed here. The way these guys play individually, but more importantly, the way these guys play as a team is so impressive to watch. They combo so well off of each other. Allowing Meds to be aggressive as he is and giving him the support, knowing my team has my back no matter what play I make, is really what helps this team make the plays and win the games they win, because this is all beautiful teamwork, beautiful team play coming out of these guys.
Split partition and get ourselves to carry North Carolina. That's what Oxygen are doing with Arsenic and mid, assisting the minions that were stronger than they were before. Notch, shout out to you. Haven't said that one in a while. In the mid lane, using those super minions while the rest of his team push down this inhibitor. Arctic Wolves are trying to relegate their resources as best as they can. But with both Taurino and Fatal having to be pushed back towards the core to heal up, this inhibitor is going to be an easy objective taken. They're going to push in, despite the fact that there is no minions. The inhibitor was low enough to where they can clean it up very easily. Fatal looking to go in. Blink away. Arsenic avoids the subjugate that more than likely would have landed. And they're trying to get themselves out of here. Full map control. Is this going to be a turnaround? Look at Imsco. Oh, man, he doesn't have the tether. He's got to be careful. I'm sure Phasma's yelling at him. My tether broke. Hold on, Imsco. Let's back it up a little bit. And they're going to retreat safely into the jungle, clear this out. And Oxygen, man, this is, again, one of the teams who's been around not quite since day one, but pretty close to it. They can feel it. It's coursing through their blood. They want to get themselves there, and they are just playing at a level that even for them is unexpected.
Yeah, it's really impressive to watch. One of the things to note here is, of course, Fatal Barrage. He's been on Sevarog. He's not getting the farm he needs. He doesn't even have 50 stacks, Shane. Imsco, while I'm talking about Fatal Barrage, decides to kill Mr. Guru, because why the hell not? At this point, kill who you want. But Fatal Barrage being able denied a lot of farm, not being able to stack the way he wants to. And again, Oxygen, they have to. We need at least 4 of them to disconnect, I think, at this point. For Arctic Wolves to come back into the game.
That's a tough road ahead of them, but we've seen comebacks. Oxygen themselves have come back from more dire straits than this, going back to that Finesse series of Oxygen versus Finesse. That was one of the most spectacular games we've ever seen. So the Arctic Wolves, don't count them out yet. They have to just really start. They have to hope that there's a series of mistakes, but it still boils down to them really picking up their play here. Blink Charm is now online for Survivor, so I think that's a very important integral item for the carry of Arctic Wolves to keep themselves alive and turn the fight around. I think if fights last, if fights get really scrappy and start to break down and become a little bit longer than we normally see, I actually think Arctic Wolves are favored there, just because Twin Blast is a little bit, okay, I'm out of grenades, I don't have double tap online. In that sort of situation, that's really where Sparrow starts to thrive, especially if Crazy Fool can be patient with Containment Fence and use it after the fact as opposed to using it as a primary initiation tool. I think that's another mistake that has been being made, is Decker has been the primary initiation tool as opposed to the Quang and the Sevarog. There's a lot of ways they can play this, but it all boils down to this right here. Taurino is in the right side of the lane. He's on core duty. Now Survivor's on core duty as well. And Oxygen are just playing this map beautifully. They're not getting ahead of themselves. They're playing smart despite the fact that they're so close to an objective they've been trying to obtain, that these guys have been dreaming of since they got into competitive Paragon. Cool Hedge will prevail, and Oxygen are looking to be on track for that right now. The last inhibitor down, the last bastion of hope. Survivor caught out. Meds goes in, gets knocked up by Fail. Subjugate does not land, but they still get the kill on Survivor. Arsenic, the damage from the R2000 rocket. Fatal Barrage. I think this is it, ladies and gentlemen. I think Team Oxygen, they have came, they have soul, and they conquered. And this is possibly the core going down right here. They're going to try to defend. I'm not sure what they can do.
I don't think they can.
This is it. Team Oxygen, congratulations. They're going to be qualifying. Taurino's in trouble. Look at Arsenic trying to go down with style, trying to go down with some flashy plays and some style points. And it looks like they're going to be able to. The core goes down. Congratulations. Team Oxygen have qualified themselves for the exhibition event. $15,000 in the line in August. Beautifully done. And I don't think there's any argument here. Well-deserved coming out from them.
What a show. What an absolute pleasure to watch, Shane. Team Oxygen playing perfectly. Great rotations, great engagement coming out of Meds that blink into a smash and grab, into immediate energy lance, into grenade spam, into just domination. What a pleasure to watch. This is what these teams have been fighting for. Shane, Team Reborn, Reborn and Team Oxygen in the finals. Both of these guys are headed to North Carolina now. So congratulations to both of these teams. That's not it. They're not done, though. We'll see them again in August. But right now, somebody wants $2,500. $2,500. And
I have had dreams of casting this match. I've woken up shoutcasting. My roommate has had to come wake up to me because I was shoutcasting in my sleep.
Well, you quit it. Oxygen's not playing right now. I'm sorry. This is going to be so impressive. I'm excited. I'm excited to see this. We've went from 120 teams. We're now at the top 2. These are the 2 best teams in North America playing for $2,500. They're both headed to North Carolina for a $15,000 event, August 4th through the 6th. Shane, we need to take a quick break. I need to go get some air. I need a drink because holy frick, this is going to be exciting.
Guys, do not go anywhere. Reborn versus Team Oxygen. They've qualified themselves, but you better believe these guys are looking for more. They are not satisfied with this at all. They want the $15,000. They want also to beat their opponent here. That would make a statement going into August, whichever team is able to take this victory. The last best of 3, $2,500, and being able to say going into the qualifier that they were the best North American team. This is going to be one hell of a match. You guys aren't going to want to miss this.